Hi there, I'm Drew. I'm a sponsored amateur disc golfer in the Peoria, Illinois area, and today we're taking a look at Eureka Permanent. Quick preface to the video, I'm not sponsored by Ledgestone, I'm just a local disc golfer in the Peoria area. So this is just going to be an overview of what's been done in the past based on caddy guides from 2021. You have to look on the Ledgestone or World's website to check out what the 2022 layout is going to be, but I think it's going to be very similar. Also, really quickly, if you want any other drone coverage of courses around the area, feel free to leave a comment and let me know. So hole 1 is a par 3, 258 feet. There's a tree on the left here and a tree on the right. We go through that gap, you're going to want to hit something that's a really driving and penetrating forehand or an easy turnover shot. The green here slopes from left to right. Hole 2, par 3, 234. One of the first challenges is this bush right here. They might trim it, they might not, but you have to shoot over that bush and hit this first gap here. Once you hit this first gap, you're going to have this uphill that has a lot of roots in it. So if you hit the ground, there's a chance that you could stop. But it's 234 feet. Plays probably closer to 280. So if you can get something like a putter through that gap, you're going to be in good shape. Hole 3, par 3, 192 feet. This one has little trees all over the place. I usually like to throw a easy backhand turnover shot as a righty. You can throw a forehand, try to get something that penetrates as well. If you do throw that backhand, you want to land somewhere right around here. There are a whole bunch of trees in circle 1, so even if you get close, you could hit something. Hole 4, par 3, 240 feet. This one's a straight downhill. There is a lot of foliage that you can hit, but you want something that drives straight and true. And as long as you get over this slight berm right here, you'll end up kind of in a gully that will put you within circle 1. Also, if you end up on the right side, it is a very challenging downhill putt as you are almost standing above the basket. Hole 5, par 3, 294 feet. Here you're going to want to throw it straight with something that fades to the left. You could probably get a fairway driver, a mid, or a putter there, depending on how much power you have. But I will say the ground has a lot of grass, and you should be careful in here. But as soon as your disc hits the ground, it's going to stop. So you're going to want to put it in the air for as long as possible. While you're in the area, if you lost a disc, you can always go to Plastic Addicts, which is located in North Pekin. It's about 20 minutes outside of Morton. They'll have the largest selection to replace anything that you might have lost that you need later that day or the next day, so go check them out. Hole 6, par 3, 318 feet. This one you have two options. One, you can go on the right side, which is what the drone's going to do right here, or the left side is a little bit straighter with a little bit of fade on the end. But this gap over here, you're going to have a little bit larger area to hit. Hole 7, par 4, 645 feet. So your landing zone is past this big tree on the left side. If you can get somewhere up here in the fairway, that'll allow you to see the basket. But this is a very difficult hole. There are a lot of skinny trees that you have to move around. It's not uncommon to see 5s or 6s on this hole. If you can get up here in 2 by any of these sticks here, you're going to have about a 40-footer, which would be an amazing birdie, and you're going to get strokes on folks even with par. Hole 8, par 3, 444 feet. Basically, you have a gap to hit that's right here. A lot of people like to lay up just to the mouth because if you're over on the right side or over on the left side, you're going to try and pitch out and you're not going to make it to where the pin is. It's probably another 75 feet, 200 feet to where the pin is once you make it through the gap. So if you have anything in your way in those shrubs, you're going to have a really difficult time getting there. Hole 9, par 4, 522 feet. Usually for my tee shot, I just like to get it through this gap here and try to get as much distance as possible. Yes, you are going uphill, but having it be a par 4, you can get it to the pin, even if you barely make it through the gap down by where that road is, for a chance for birdie. A lot of open. That tree line is outside circle 1, so you should be good as long as you land in the circle. Hole 10, par 3, 320 feet. From here, you're going to have about 150 to 175 feet before you get to this gap. And as soon as you get into this gap, there is a tight fairway that snakes a little bit from right to left. It's mostly straight, but there are a lot of trees and a lot of foliage that you need to miss to get it up here for your birdie. Hole 11, par 4, 542 feet. This one is a difficult hole as you have this gap that you need to hit, whether you want to hit this V gap or the left side gap, which is much easier. You want to land somewhere around this area so that you're not at the very bottom of this gully here. If you are at the bottom of the gully and have a great drive off the tee, you still can make your birdie. It's just going to be very difficult throwing up this hill another 200 feet, 250 feet to make it to where the basket is. Hole 12, par 3, 234 feet. This one is not an island hole, but it kind of feels like an island hole with this ravine down here. If you do go down there, there's still a good chance that you can make it up to the green on your second shot and save your par. However, what you want to do is try to take a putter or something that goes as straight as possible and land right here in this green. If you do go past the basket, it does drop off, but it's only about 6 feet, so you still could make your birdie putt from down there. Hole 13, par 3, 237 feet. If you feel comfortable with a turnover shot, I think that's the play to do here. If you can hit this gap, have something that goes high and fades from left to right, that's what you want to do. You do have a forehand. If you do have a forehand, you can do that as well. There is a chance that you're going to be sawed off a little early or pinched off. But again, a lot of skinny trees, and a lot of them are close to the green as well. Hole 4, par 3, 303 feet. In my opinion, it seems like it plays a little bit farther than that, something probably closer to 330. There is OB on the left, and in years past, they've had it on the right as well. It's the path, but it's an open shot here. A lot of space up in the air. If you want to go on the left side with a forehand or with a backhand, either option is very viable. And here we get to the first of 2 bomber holes. This is hole 15, par 5, 1,106 feet. If you're playing from the short tees, which we're passing over right now, it's around 750 feet. Basically, this fairway is about 50 feet wide, with landing zones that are about the size of circle 2 every third of the way. The grass that we're going over here gets very tall, so I would recommend having a spotter out there to find your disc. And here we're coming up against the wall. This wall is about 3 to 4 feet, and you're going to have to putt over it, not a gimme putt. Hole 16, par 4, 810 feet. Again, it's about 500 and some change feet from the short tee with a landing zone halfway. Here, same thing applies to the last hole, but you want to try to get here in 2. Throw something really far and just get it into the circle. I will say that those holes travel opposite directions, so one of them will be in a headwind. Hole 17, par 3, 264 feet. The play here is just to go straight and go long. If you're over to the left side, you're going to have a tough time finding your disc, and it's going to be a hard time getting to the basket. Here, the basket's on a little bit of a mound, so you might be putting a little bit in an elevated basket if you are over to the right side. Hole 18, par 3, 195 feet. I don't know exactly where the tee was, but it was played off of the path. There is a creek over on your right side, and there's a walking path over on the left. In years past, both of those have been played as out of bounds. Thanks for watching. I hope this drone preview helps you out with your future casual rounds or competitive rounds out here in the future. And remember, don't let today get away.